Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Ham Radio Crash Course. I am Josh Nass. This is KI6NAZ. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as long as we can make it work. Good evening, everybody. Welcome
We
to
do the Ham Radio Crash Course, where we talk about all things ham radio, as much as we can at least.
So we're here again on a Friday. Man, it's been a busy week. Busy week. How's everybody doing in the chat? People are rolling in right now. Echo is gone. Thank you. We got W5KUB. There's Zach. Thank you, Zach, for hanging out and helping. All right, here we go. All right, so, man, a lot happened this week. My wife fell, landed on her left knee, just put all her weight down on it, so I've been helping out with the kids and helping out her. It's been crazy. And not to mention, this has been a very fun undertaking, but difficult, what we're talking about today, which is connecting the FT2DR as a Yaesu Wires X standalone node and a kind of direct functioning radio, which we have so much detail to talk about. Oh man. So hang on. In the upper left hand corner here above my head is our new Yaesu System Fusion reflector. So if you are on DMR and you have a reflector, you can go DMR to Yaesu System Fusion and you can get to it. The name is the US HRCC link, and that's also the same. I'm sorry, not DMR. If you're on a Yaesu System Fusion radio and you have a hotspot like a so, you can use the reflector to get to our room, which is HRCC. And if you go in there right now, or try to, we'll be connecting to that later in the video. So make sure you check that out. All right. So as always, we try and move forward with ham radio, and oh boy, did I do some moving forward this week. I love trying different modes and trying different things out. Whatever's new and kind of fun. This new patch, the patch here for the FT2DR that allows it to do this firmware update, is new. It's definitely in the zeitgeist of ham radio. It's very interesting. It's very interesting stuff. And I have lots to talk about on just all kinds of aspects of this. I will say this up front. The functionality is very cool. I was able to, with that FT2DR connected to my laptop and my nice 17-foot antenna on the roof, I was able to make contact from my car roughly 7 miles from my home. And that's in the middle of the suburbs in a high RF environment, walls and different stuff everywhere. Not bad at all. I was able to be fully Wires X connected to the HRCC room. And I was talking to Whitbreeze, actually. He'll probably be on later to talk a little bit about this. Very interesting, very compelling stuff, very, very fun. So, oh, there's already a caller. Somebody remembered the phone number. Hang on. Caller, hang on. Let me mute that for a second.
Entry notice off.
We'll get back to that later. So super fun. I will mention above my head we have another Discord giveaway for a quirky QRP keychain. We'll pick one at random and we'll ship that out to you. Thank you so much for Quirky QRP on Twitter for sending us those. 54 people already, which is not bad. All right, so what do we got? News, the Jeep podcast, the Jeep Talk Show podcast is out. I think my last episode hit. I'm still waiting for the Gentleman's Scofflaw podcast. That should be out soon. And of course, W5KUB's in the chat. On Tuesdays, I'm on his roundtable of ham radio discussions. Last week, we talked about Pico balloons, which are basically small transmitters that are connected to a big 3-foot Mylar balloon that can circumnavigate the globe for about 3 months, which is awesome. And they have different variations of balloons that can go upwards of a year off of either, well, I'm pretty sure it's hydrogen in most cases, but helium works too. All right, who do we got? Beer Boss. Hello, everyone from North Carolina. How's it going? Donald Gover, right? Yeah, Gover. FT2DR, my daily driver, great radio. Worst upgrade process on the planet. We're going to talk about that, so hang on. Stephen Wall, who has plans for Winter Field Day? Great question. Winter Field Day, I am going to work on my garage. I really, really need to work on my garage. Also, if I want to have a winter for Winter Field Day, I'm actually going to have to go up to altitude over my dad's place. So we're going to put that off for a little bit. Brew Crew. Oh, we need to get into this. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but we're going to do it anyway. I got The Prodigal by Perennial. This is A Imperial Oatmeal Stout with a massive fudge and roast malt character. Sounds delightful. I don't know that I should have this to do this video because there's a lot to talk about. Whew. I normally, by the way, if you're watching these and you don't like my bantering in the beginning of these videos, I usually start the major content about 8 to 10 minutes in, so we're pretty close to get real meaty on this subject. And man, I jokingly, a lot of you guys will remember this. Let me show you the action here. For those hoisting it, there you go. For the Brew Crew, thanks you guys for the support. Appreciate it. So I grew up on video games. I promise I'll make this ham radio related. And there was a game called Double Dragon. Double Dragon had a mini boss, a mid-stage boss. First level was like, I think it's a Bobo. Really awesome, huge guy. Just beats the heck out of you in the game. I consider programming your DMR radio and your hotspot like the mini boss, and the level boss is the Yaesu System Fusion Wires X setup on the FT2DR. This is a serious, it's not serious, it's fun. You got to follow, you got to do some work, but there's a lot to undertake. There's a big list of things you have to accomplish to make this work. And I'm going to go through as much of it as I can from an operator standpoint. There are some things I'll talk about in the beginning that you really need to do something else, which we'll hit really quick. Let's take a sip of this before I start losing it. Yeah, it's like crank grease. Woo! A barrel-aged Imperial Oatmeal Stout. Wow. Okay, so I wanna do this really quick. So here's my FT2DR. Here's my hotspot. Now I use these interoperably, right? I can connect with my Yaesu FT2, my Redivis to my hotspot, depending on what mode I have configured on the hotspot. And this needs to be connected to Wi-Fi, so I can have a little, Wi-Fi mobile dongle thing that can go with me anywhere, and I can connect to these different systems, and I can talk, and they work pretty well. The Yaesu kind of version of that gives you more power, but it's also more expensive, and let me show you what that looks like. So the node kind of replacement to the Zoom spot that I have here is the HRI 200 that's made by Yaesu. With it, you can connect other radios, and it kind of functions as a node. Most often, what people do is they'll use the FTM 100DR as the RF component to connect to the HRI 200 to make these Wires X connections. The advantage of doing something like this is that you have a 50-watt radio and you can connect it to a pretty decent antenna, and you can get pretty far out there. So Yaesu, actually, in doing this, I'm giving them a lot of props in the sense that they have ambitiously gone out and said, well, hey, why not throw that capability in the FT2DR? And there you go. This is where our journey begins. You must have a Yaesu FT2DR, obviously, to do this. And I will recommend you check out the files section. And under the bottom amateur radio software, FT2DR DE is the European version, Wires X Portable Node Station Function, FT2DR Firmware Update 0103.zip. And it's dated January 3rd, 2019. So you will have to go through a firmware upgrade process to actually make this happen. Here's what you're going to end up with. Let me go back to the desk. So let me get this stuff out of the way. I've got this here because I'm going to need this space, but I need a nice little backdrop because there are things that you need. You need the radio, of course, but you're going to need some cabling. The first cable you're going to need is the programming cable that comes with the FT2DR. Why this is important is because this connector is tapered, and it's the only one that will go into the FT2 properly. So make sure you hang on to this. Not just any USB mini will do this. You need to have the Yaesu one. I'm sure you can carve it down, but follow me. You need to have the right one. It saves headaches. There are 3 firmware upgrades that you have to do on this radio to get it ready to perform the operations that we're going to run through. I recommend you go in the description and you check out the linked videos I have that are from the Yaesu official YouTube website, particularly or the Yaesu official YouTube channel. And specifically, you want video 1. Video 1 is going to walk you through the firmware upgrade process. The instructions come in the download and they are easy to follow, but I found the video very helpful. Now, I want to specify, the connector here can be proprietary, but this is a standard mini USB. The thing that makes it different is that it's tapered, and that tapering is what allows it to fit in this slot here, right? The fitting in the slot is the difficulty. It's not that it's proprietary, it's that it's kind of small, and that's because there's a rubber seal that I've taken off here that you need to make it IPv water resistant. So you're going to do the firmware upgrade, and there's 3 upgrades you have to do. There's the main, the sub, and then the actual update that allows it to do the Wires X configuration. Now, I will note this because it is important to keep this in mind. You are going to want to take a small poker type device, and next to the port here is a switch. And you have, ooh, I pushed too hard on the top of this. There's a laptop under there. You have to slide this switch up to do the main and bottom to do the sub, and then center it back to middle to put it back into operations mode. And that'll get you through the first 2 upgrades for the system. You will need Windows to do this. Windows is required. The process for doing it, though, is very straightforward. The way this works when plugged in here, the radio won't turn on. It's simply going to connect to the AC adapter, and you're going to connect it with the USB cable, and you're going to put in the upper mode, and it becomes like a USB drive almost. The software will reach out, and it will be able to update it. So in that sense, it's pretty straightforward. But we're not here to talk about straightforward. We're here to talk about making this whole wires thing work, and that's when things can kind of get a little crazy. Let me switch this over. Things can kind of get a little crazy. I don't have an echo, right? No, I do have an echo. A little. Why is there an echo? Yeah, you have to use Windows. That's the only software that works with this is Windows. So you're stuck doing that. Okay. So here's the wires that you need to make this work. So once you get it flashed and updated, you can get rid of this one. The second wire you're going to need comes out of the SCU 39 kit that's available off of HRO. I posted a link. I think it takes you to the wrong spot, but if you search SCU 39, which is in the video description, it will take you to the kit. And the kit includes this cable, which is the SCU 19 cable. Come on, buddy. SCU 19. Oh, I have it backwards. Focus. Anyway, you can take my word for it. And what it does is it has 2 connectors. It has the USB connector and then the FT2DR on the other side. This is the cable you need in all situations of making this work. It's going to be connected to the radio at all times when you are connected to Wires X. So you got to have that. If you only had a cable like this, and there are other cables that are... is Ethan in the house? Ethan has the other cable. It's made by the programming software company. It's a Yaesu serial programming cable. That will work in this role. However, Yaesu, of course, says you should use their cable because they are confident. RT Systems. Who was that? Ethan. There he is. Thank you. USB 68, and Zach got that. So Zach says RT Systems, and it's USB 68. Ethan with the clarification. So you need to have the serial cable to make this all work. I went out and I got the SCU 39 because it has everything that works, and this is kind of fiddly enough that I said, I'm just going to go with this, and this is the safer way to go. So, all right. That's the serial cable you need. The other thing you need is this dongle, which takes the audio jack from the FT2DR and splits it. Okay? That comes in the kit. Then you have... so the cable kit at HRO for the SCU 39 should be $56, okay? Then you have an audio cable, which I have connected to a USB sound card. You don't necessarily need that, okay? Gray audio cable, I believe, is for the microphone. And then you have a black audio cable, which is for the speaker, okay? There are situations where you need all or none of these cables. The radio works in 4 specific modes. There's 2 modes that it operates in, and then 2 flavors of modes within each group. I know it sounds a little confusing, but I will break that down. Convenience items that I needed were a audio splitter to go from a microphone 4-pin connector, or 3-pin if you don't count the ground, and it splits out the microphone and the speaker. I needed this because the laptop I'm running on only has 1 audio jack, so keep that in mind. And then I also ended up using this Yaesu hand mic. This is the MH34. I had really good results, really good reports with this. All right, so what's the next step? Yes. So let me show you kind of a block diagram of how this is all supposed to work, because I think that makes things a little bit easier. So the 2 modes that this operates in are personal digital node mode. And that, as displayed here, is kind of like digital only local access point. So you can see those two humans on the left-hand side. One is on the FT2DR talking, and the other below him has something like another handy-talkie that they're connecting via wires. So if you're out in the wild and you got your laptop with you and you got your FT2DR, you can use the serial cable, the SCU19, to connect to the laptop and some form of internet. You'll need a hotspot or something like that. And then you can do a remote node, and that allows people to actually connect to your local node to connect to wires, whatever room they want to connect to. Okay. There's also direct operation in Pdn mode. Direct operation is just the speaker and the mic connected to the FT2DR. So you need that if you're just going to talk into it. The reason that you make that clarification is in direct mode, you're using just the laptop for configuration. I take that back. No, that is correct. You use the laptop for configuration. I think that's right. We'll get into it. But anyway, I'll read it really quick. In direct mode, wires XC4FM communications are made directly with USB. The microphone signals are sent only to the PC and the internet. The internet signals are heard only in the FT2DR speaker. In direct operation, the FTU transceiver does not transmit or receive over the air. So you're going just straight from the radio. You're not using the RF at all on the radio. It's just taking your voice and turning it into what it needs to pass it off to the software. There is a second mode, and that's portable HRI mode. So the HRI 200, that thing I showed earlier, where's that bad boy? This guy, he's like the little node box that connects to the internet. You're basically going to put the FT2DR in a node mode that allows it to perform this internet connection via the WiresX software running on your PC. And so node mode, let's see, portable HRI mode. Similar thing though. Portable HRI mode, you have a access point mode, which allows other people to connect to it, like my mobile radio in my car. And then you have the direct mode, which allows you to just talk to it like before. So what's the difference? It sounds like I just said the same 2 things twice. Well, portable digital mode only requires the SCU19 cable. You don't need the extra audio cables. And the reason for that is simply in Pdn mode, it's only digital. You're like, well, isn't the whole thing always digital? Well, I kind of thought that myself too, and so I started looking into it more. There are multi-mode chat rooms in WiresX that allow you to do both analog and digital. So some rooms, like America Link on the Yaesu System Fusion WiresX network, are multi-mode. It supports analog too. So you won't necessarily just be able to hop on in Pdn Mode and go, hey, I'm here, connect me to America Link. It won't necessarily work. So in most of my experimentation, I found that running in the HRI mode was the preferred mode to run in. Let me show you what that looks like, because there's a startup process. So I'm going to move these cables out of the way really quick, and I'm going to show you what it looks like to power this thing up. And hopefully it's not blown out enough that you're going to be able to see this. Oh, I leaned on my computer again. So there's 2 modes of operation. As I already mentioned, there is HRI mode and Pdn mode. So to enter HRI mode, I'm going to hold back and the X button and power on. Okay. It's a little too bright. There you go. Nope, that's not it. Let me back out. Back and X again. So there you go. Come on, focus. My light's really blowing this out. Hold on. That messed with my green screen. Is that easier to see? And it's not focusing. Come on, buddy. There we go. Wow. There we go. Can I get it to light up? There we go. All right. So it says wires X call KI6NAZ, which is me, and -7 is the APRS call sign I'm using. And so what this is doing right now is it's waiting to be connected to the computer. It's sitting there going, okay, I'm ready. I'm in the mode. I'm correct. I'm all set, ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this guy out. I'm going to put my large antenna on the roof in, and I'm going to connect my serial cable. And there's the side of the laptop. Yeah, I hope you heard that tone, because that's the music we want to hear. And then I'm going to connect the audio jack cables. I'm going to use both of them because I'm going to show you the mode that I like the most, which is HRI into the node mode, so that I can take my car and I can drive around and it works as a mobile node so that I can connect to it. So into the side of that, and then I'm going to go into green is matched to black, gray is matched to red. Those are the microphones, and this goes in the back of the laptop. So far, pretty straightforward. Or not. There we go. Okay. And that's all you really need to get this up and running. So let's get this laptop open. Okay. Oh, we don't have TeamView connected yet. You're looking at stale TeamView. One second when I get TeamView back up and running here. What do we got going on in the chat? Let's see. How do you enter the giveaway? You go to the Discord. So Zach, post that Discord link up. And let's see, where are we at on the Discord actually? Or the Discord giveaway. Let me pull back here. 71 people. Why is that? Oh, I see. It got reposted. I see, Zach. Somebody deleted that post. 70 people right now. That's nobody. Somebody's getting that. That's pretty good odds. How many people we got watching? 120 people. Thank you for watching, everybody. All right. Let me go back to the desktop. Do we got the team view going? Looks like I do. So I'm going to start all over here. Let's close this out. Okay. So also I'll remove this for a second for the net. All right. So on my desktop here, pretty straightforward. You have to have the firmware updated, as I already mentioned. Otherwise, this will not work out very well. But then you just simply run wires X. Select your port, which in my case, this is a prolific serial cable. That's the driver that comes up. So keep that in mind. This is not an FTDI cable like we use in the Baofeng. This is a prolific. Are we slipping off the edge here? 1 second, please. There we go. Okay, so The software will only start if you have this serial connection and you have the radio turned on like we just did. We turned it on in HRI mode. So it's now enabled. It will power on, and we are getting, the middle is all the users that are in the area or that are online. And then we'll start getting room IDs below that. And anything above that are rooms that I'm either connected to or my bookmarks. We got Scott Laycock. Hello from the Finger Lakes. What's up? All right, that was a lot of talking. Let me catch up. Well, this is loading because it takes a little while to load. Andy Miller says, confirm the RT Systems cable does work, but go get the real ones. Nods to Yaesu. Nods to Yaesu guy in the room. I'm not going to say either way. All I'm saying is that the kit is simple. It's all there. $56 is a little expensive. Oh, I've got official Yaesu in the house. I just noticed that. Hello. Oh, Yaesu says the RT Systems gives too much packet loss. Okay. Also, it's all there. It's in the kit. You just buy it, and it's all ready to go. So excellent. Okay. Well, now that I know Yaesu's here, hold on. Hold on. Look away for a second, Yaesu official. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Now we're good. I went to HRO today, and I was wearing this. I met a couple people. It was fun. All right. So we're now connected. We've got our rooms connected. I'm going to join a very special room. Now, let's see. I am in node mode. I'm going to connect to 45321. That is our Yaesu System Fusion Wires X room. I don't know why I'm saying Yaesu System Fusion. It obviously is. So we have a number of people in here right now. Nobody's talking though. Go ahead and give a transmit really quick. Oh, there's a chat room too. Hold on. Boop. And the chat room's on the side. Oh, typing the wrong one. Okay, so in this mode, I'm basically able... Oh, so another thing we got to talk about. Let's see. That's right. I got to disconnect this guy. Well, we're doing this. I had this all set up when I was playing around because I really do like playing with it in my car. I started using this speaker that I connect to the side port because I am using a USB audio port. I can't hear you guys yet, so hold on one second. I've found that in certain cases you need to pull the speaker connector cable and not use that. Use just the gray cable, which allows you to get the audio out for the node mode and the direct mode when in HRI mode. So let's do view audio adjustments. Where is it? Let's disconnect this. The one thing I've had to do a couple of times is restart the system or restart the software because right now I can't pull up the tone. You should be able to see the tone right now or hear the tone. Yeah, I think it's John is Yaesu official. I'm going to take my jacket off. It's getting hot in here. Matthew Sanchez has a random Yaesu question. Go for it. All right. Man, since I have John in the house, he may be able to tell me what the trick is. I find that I get it into a mode where it's like I can't connect that. I can't see the start for the test tone. I usually do that depending on what mode I have. And I think that depends on what I have connected as far as the audio. But I I have to do it like every time. And sometimes it doesn't show up. So I'm assuming it's the order of how I'm plugging it all in, which is probably true. Let's unplug that again. That shouldn't matter, but we'll try it really quick. No. The monitor's there, but I can't do the audio tone. So okay, let's close this down again, and I will switch this back to the way that I know works. I'm gonna hold off on plugging it in. Okay, there he is. Because you are in HRI mode and you are indirect, you will need to connect a speaker to the USB sound. Ah, okay. There you go. So in this case, I'm using a dongle that has a mic line and a speaker line. So I connect the gray one to the mic line. I had played around with it where I had the speaker connected to the analog in-out headset port. That seemed to work okay too. Let me tell you, I was futzing around with this for a while, and I want to say, Yaesu's in the room, so I gotta be careful. No, but what I want to say is there's so many options to this that you can trip yourself up, and I think this is really fun to play around with. And when you get it set up, you might want to kind of fully explore the space before you go into other modes of operation. Some of your mileage will vary, but that's generally how I feel. All right, so we restarted it. I don't have to wait for everything to load to try out my audio adjustment. There's the audio. Hopefully you can hear that. I think you can. Yeah, you can. Okay, so let's connect to our buddies again. Okay. What was the other thing? Let's do. Go ahead on the room, see if we can hear you guys. Well, I'll key up really quick just to see. Where is it? Come on. Oh, I'm in direct. I am in direct. No, I had this problem before too. It's still not doing the audio out. They're talking right now, but I'm not getting it. I'm pretty sure I did that. Now that I got Yaesu in the room, this makes it really easy. Let's go to sound properties, as he's saying. Microphone properties, and I have under listen to this device in the speaker output, which is what I want. I guess I can do this one. That might work better. Let's do that. Oh, now we lost it. Now I can't do the test tone anymore. Yeah, I'm in direct and I can't PTT either. So. Oh, wait. There's your problem. Yep, okay. So we sorted that out. I am now PTTing on the radio, so we should be good. My problem is oh, this is also an... There it is! KI6NAZ testing the HRCC channel here on my FT2DR HRI mode in direct mode? Let's go with that. If you hear me, come back. That was a little overloaded here. Let me load it down. Hey, good. So, you copying me okay? Sound good?
Yeah, you're coming in a little scratchy, but really good.
So part of that is, let me switch back over to the desk here so I can show you something. Let me show you something. So I've got the FT2DR connected to the audio and the USB and then the roof antenna. What I ended up doing was taking a splitter and connecting an audio splitter. So let's see if I can make this work again. So I took an audio splitter and I connected it to the mic side of the audio splitter like that. And this goes into the mic port or headphone port on the FT2DR. There's a lot to remember here. So I really recommend you sit down and study the instruction manual that comes with the firmware package that you can download off the Yaesu website. So, okay, now I got a handy talkie. Let's see. Switch it back over to TeamView. KI6NAZ, KI6NAZ, how's copy now? So we are using a very tiny speaker, so it's coming in a little jarbled, but there you go. Oh, N9 UPC. N9 UPC. Who is that? These are call signs. I don't know all of them. I know some of these. So real quick, let me give you an overview while we're sitting here. The room we're in floats on top. This is the HRCC. We've got 7 people in right now.
Hey, Bob, N9 UPC is John from Yaesu, I believe.
Oh, cool. We got Yaesu in the room. Excellent. And this is the news screen, which if KEK wanted to go in there, he could add. It's kind of like the message of the day. And then on the side here is the chat room. Hi again. I'm typing in the wrong keyboard. Hi again. Okay. So I'm in direct mode HRI, which allows me to go to basically any of the rooms that you can see here in this area of the screen. The houses with the backgrounds all... Oh, my head's in the way. Sorry. The houses on the left-hand side all denote a different type of analog to digital combination room. And then there's digital-only rooms, like this one right here, which has a very nice DIG. It's kind of small. You might not be able to see it on the screen, but it allows you to basically connect to just a digital room. So helpful for PDN. There are some other complications, though, if you're connecting to, like, America Link, which Yaesu Internet or Yaesu America can correct me, or official. They can correct me and say that's the case or not, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So, okay, so that was direct. Let me show you the screen again as I switch. So now we're going to go to... So right now we are in direct mode, and you can tell because it says direct. And I do that by pushing this AB button. So, come on, buddy. Push the AB button, and a frequency pops up. That frequency is the node frequency. So now we are in HRI node, as I already mentioned from that block diagram I showed earlier. In this node mode, I can now have other people connect directly to my radio for, like I did. I turned this radio on, I connected it to my 17-foot high-gain vertical antenna on my roof, and I'm able to call in from my FTM400 while I'm driving around town. Which is wonderful because I got about a 7-mile diameter radius around my home. I want to reiterate, and I may do a little wrap up here as we get close to the end. This is going to go a little bit long too because we've got to do the giveaway in like 10 minutes. I think that running the FTM 100 with the HRI 200 is a really nice solution for a home node setup. Now, let me go back. Where did my little hotspot buddy go? Where did I put it? So this is, you know, $150. I just reviewed this. The HRI and the FTM 100 are going to be considerably more. But you're getting a 50-watt radio that is devoted to this function. The HRI is devoted to the function. I'm not questioning if the hotspot will last or not, but the hotspot does not now have nearly the output potential as the FTM 100 does. So you could make your own basic not basic, but your own kind of digital repeater system, digital node just for you at home. Put a nice antenna on the roof, get a proper mobile, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, great, I've got a nice little home setup. And I even saw some people that were running this Wires X software off of a tablet. As long as it's Windows based, you can run it. So pretty cool. Since I've got Yaesu in the room, I want to throw an idea out them because I don't know how long they're going to stay here. How about we get a Linux version of this? Why? I think this might be able to run on a Raspberry Pi. They probably might even have thought about that. Maybe we'll get some exclusive ideas if they've looked at that or not. I would love to see this run on Linux, to be able to try it. Yeah, Square Mining is right there with me. I would love to see this run on Linux. What do they think? Is John still there? He's in the room. He can just go right over the... It's going to explode with Linux love right now. The chat above me is just going to go nuts. Okay, so HRI, again, direct mode allows you to talk directly into the radio. You can connect a handy mic if you want. You can connect, I believe there's another way you can do it with a mic directly connected to the computer, which I'm not going to do. Unable due to server setup and how it connects. Okay, well, there you go. Now, the next mode is the Pdn mode. So for Pdn mode, let's go back to this. I'm going to go ahead and... What's the best way to do this? I think I can just leave this up. I'm going to do that. Now I have to turn this back off. You know what? Let's try it. We'll leave it on. So I'm going to disconnect the audio out. Let's show you. There we go. I'm going to disconnect the audio like so. So now we're connected like PDN, but we're still in HRI mode on the screen. So to turn that off, I'm going to hold down back and X. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm going to just turn it off. And then hold back and X and turn it on. So this will put it back into just standard FTM, FT2DR mode. So it goes back to just being a regular radio. And so now I want to, so you got to do that. You got to go from one mode to regular off and then go into the next mode. So I'm going to turn it back off again. So I'm going to go band and X and turn it on. So now you see this little PDN, right? That's personal digital node. And you've got the same thing. If I push this AB button, now it says direct, and then you got the frequency again if you want to run a node. So same idea. The difference is that now this is only going to work on digital only rooms or nodes you connect to. I can go with a little bit more light. One of these days I'm going to fix this camera or swap it out with something else. Oh, my hat. My hat's going full green screen. Okay, so while we're doing that, yeah, I'm going to go direct mode. The cool thing about direct mode, and this is actually probably the best part about it, let me go back to the desktop here. I'm on the desktop. I need a producer. Have somebody come produce for me. So while I'm in direct mode, AB to go back to direct, I'm going to hit the X button. All right. And whoop. I'm going to throw this webcam into the river. Into the river. Come on. There we go. So I could try to connect to America Link. Remember, I only have the digital. I don't have the analog. Why don't we just try it? Let's see what happens. It's going to... Oh, busy error. Is that right? Let's try that again. No bueno. Okay. So you need to go to... No, not going to work. So let's click... Go ahead. You can go all... Yeah, so Yaesu, I wanted to show them what would happen when they tried it, but you know, of course. All right, so those are the list of rooms. What I want to do, let's consult the wire software since we are connected. I want to find a room that... Oh, my hat. I'm messing with the green screen. This is a rare hat. Let's go back to team view. So, oh my goodness. The lighting really screwed me up. Okay, so on the left-hand side here, above my, see right there where my finger is? Wow, look at that. Look at that technology. I'm looking for digital only, right? And it turns out HRCC, it's a digital only room. So let's try that out. Let me show you how to do that on the radio. If I can, there we go. Oh, Forget Your Life. Good question. Forget Your Life asks, is this because there isn't a fusion repeater around? I just don't see why this would be worth all the trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and switch. Let me go switch this back to me. Maybe take this off. There we go. 86 people on the contest, by the way. That's the information for the reflector if you want to be on it, or our room or anything like that. Go ahead and hop in now. Here's a good reason why you may want to do this on your own. There is I think 4 or 5 Yaesu system fusion repeaters in the area, and they require a $10 a month fee if you'd like to have the ability to kind of play around in wires and change the room you're in. I personally would rather spend, $300 or more and say, to the wife, I'm spending money to save money so that I own, and then also you own all the technology. You can do it all on your own. While I love, local chats with repeaters in the area, I think that's awesome. If I want to talk on something, darn it, I'm going to do what I have to do that. That's part of the reason why I have a hotspot. Also, since we have Yaesu official in the room, I don't want to necessarily make a change via my wires on my radio to go to a chat room that the larger community doesn't really want me to. Or I don't want to break up a crosslink, or I don't want to send some kind of command that, for whatever reason, maybe it's not set up correctly, that I may be able to do. Those are personal things. Your mileage will vary. If you don't feel that way, that's okay. You have 3 minutes. 3 minutes for the contest. 83 people right now. 83 people. Okay. I totally forgot what I was going to do now. So let's join the HRCC. That's what I was going to do. All right. So here is the list of rooms that came back when I did an all search. I'm going to go back. Come on. Come on. There we go. I'm going to do a search. I'm going to input an ID. I'm going to go 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. And now I'm in HRCC. So go ahead, guys that are in the group chat. Go ahead. Let's see if I can key. Let's see where the audio comes in at. So that was coming out of the audio on the... So that audio is coming out of the radio right now. You can switch that. Cool. So you can switch that by clicking the VM button. Where is it? Nope. Oh, you know what? No, I think that's incorrect. Yaesu will correct me. I think that's incorrect. I think it only comes out of this now when that's set up that way. And N9 UPC is still in the room too, so that's helpful. Ryan Klemmer asks, loaded question, as a newly licensed BFF8 HP owner, is the FT2DR a great primary 2 meter 70 centimeter radio? Really liking what I'm seeing here. So as far as, there you go, only speaker on radio or speaker mic. There you go. Direct only speaker. Oh, well, let's, now that I've got the, I'm going to connect my speaker mic. KI6NAZ, KI6NAZ, how's copy now? Connected via Pdn mode on direct. See if it comes through here.
V6AEK, sounding great.
Great. So awesome. That's a really good. That's really nice. So the first.
KOI, I love the little mic handset, using it myself.
KOI sounds really good. KOI, what radio are you using? He sounds really good.
This is the FT2DR with a handset mic, just like you're using, and then actually using the RT Systems cable. Ooh.
This was the radio speaker mic, hand mic that I got for my FT60 when I bought it like 10 years ago. This thing's been going strong, so I love this thing. But this is nice because then you only need the one cable and whatever antenna solution you have. This would not be a bad mobile station with like a tablet with a USB connection, the radio, and like a roll-up J-pole. That would work out really well, right? Oh, we just got a winner. Did we get a winner? Did I miss it? Ah! KN4JHB. Gosh, I set a local timer. KN4JHB, you won. Thank you, Chris. I got it. So send me a message on Discord on where you would like me to send your quirky QRP radio, and I have to pull. I remembered I have to pull the mystery band. We get to decide your future right now because I'm going to pull a band. I'm going to pull a quirky QRP out of this manila envelope. There we go. There's two in here, so I'm going to pick one out of here. Left side or right side? I'm going to go with this one. All right, you have the 18 megahertz QRP, quirky QRP. Runs off of a 9-volt battery with a key and a headset. Or wait, how's that work? This is a transmitter only. I think you can attach a key. I think that's how that works. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so 18 megahertz is going to you. Excellent. This one goes back in. Yeah, send me a DM on Discord. Oh, that's cool. John's in the chat. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Congratulations. Love that. Okay, so now let me show you analog, although analog's kind of tough to show. Obviously, we kind of already walked through that because we don't have another radio, or I don't have an FT70. By the way, going back to the I kind of took a side lane there. Going back to what was said earlier about the FT2DR. FT2DR is an amazing radio. The reason why I bought it, which I've talked about many times, you go look at my review. We had a major problem with YouTube. We sorted it out, I think, toward the latter half of the stream. I'm just going to fast forward you right to the end, and I'm going to re-upload this. Thanks a lot for watching. Take it easy. So I am back in direct mode. That's where I want to be. Okay. KI6NAZ, KI6NAZ. How's copy on HRI mode back? Let's see. Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right. So at least we didn't screw up the settings. That's all figured out. Wow, sorry about the buffering business. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the call-ins at this point. Where is it? There it is. Turn on the call-ins. Make sure the net's on there so you guys can see it. Get out of the way there, buddy. And I'm going to turn the tone back on.
Entry notice on.
Call in now. What a pain in the butt. That's very frustrating. Oh, and my... Did it just die? Oh, no, we're good. Okay, good. I think the conference call just died for a second, so if you're trying to call in. Yeah, it looks good on Twitch. Oh, I got a caller. Hold on. All right. Hey, caller. How's it going?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. It's whip grease, everybody. I want like a laugh track. I can go, ha!
Yeah, the YouTube stream is wrecked for sure. And the delay is over, I would say, 1 minute and 30 seconds of delay from what's going on Twitch right now to YouTube.
It's not good, man. That's no bueno.
Nah, well, I'm sure we'll get it figured out. It just looks like it's on the YouTube side. I don't think it's how you're sending there.
Yeah, so anybody watching right now, as we're going to talk right now with Whip Grease, I'm simulcasting to Twitch. So if you follow Angry Shoverbot on Twitch, Zach is... Zach saying the delay on Twitch is 3 minutes. Oh, interesting. That could be me then. But there's nobody here. There's nobody doing anything. Maybe I am the baddie. So what's up, Whip Grease? How's it going?
Not much. You said you wanted to just discuss something tonight, so I figured I'd just call in. You might have covered it all, though, so, you know.
Yeah, so, I mean, let's walk through your station pretty quick. So what are you running? For not everything. For Wires X, please. We'll be here all night.
Yeah, so it's an FTM 100 with HRI connected, okay. And then that's just running into a dedicated computer in the office. That goes to a GP3 antenna that's at 50 feet over the house. And at 20 watts, we do pretty good for range on that thing. So that's the base station at home. And then as far as handhelds that I use around the house, it's usually the FT2D. And that is...
Okay.
So gotcha?
Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, the bridge said invalid option to me. So the handset, the other one that I have is I have an FT70D. The problem with that one is the battery life on it is just horrific.
Okay.
You know, comparatively to the 2DR, that thing will last 8 to 10 hours, and the 70D is 2 hours probably.
Oh, I didn't know that. You're saying the 70D has a low battery life?
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh, I've only had so. Going back to the person who was asking about the FT2DR, I love the FT2DR because it lasts multiple days depending on how much you use it in a day. And, Robert Snyder, thank you so much. I don't even know if he's watching it. He just sent a $10 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. But you're saying the FT70 has a bad battery. I thought that was way better. I thought it was way better than that.
No, the FT70D has a really small battery for the radio that it's on. Now, I went out to British Columbia. They had the big windstorm around Christmas. We were out of power for 8 days or so.
Twitch. So if you follow Angry... Sorry, that was my bad. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem. The 70D, I brought both radios out, and they had a big windstorm, so it knocked power out. We were out of power for 8 days there. Mm-hmm. And the repeaters were so busy that I was only getting about an hour and a half off the 70D, maybe hour and 45 minutes, where the 2DR was lasting, 8 hours before I'd have to swap a battery on the thing.
Okay.
So it was significantly different in performance with respect to how long the juice came to these guys.
Do you have the fast charger for the FT2DR?
I do. I have the cradle for both of them.
Does it help?
I mean, it helps because you have a battery. The 70D, you're swapping batteries multiple times a day to keep it running. So, yeah, it's helpful because you always have a fresh battery.
Right.
The 2DR, the cradle, the charger on it, yeah, I mean, they do charge faster throwing it into the cradle than through the actual radio itself. I mean, it's significantly faster.
Okay, and for the caller that's on the line, I'll get to you if you just hang on there. I'm going to talk to KEK Whip Grease for one more thing. So, all right, let me see where I'm pointing right now. Where am I pointing my screen? Let me go back to me right now. Okay, so here's the talking point. So right now you can get to our chat on DMR, which is the what is it? 321-621 312-312-6. Sorry. 31621. 31621 on DMR. You can get to that with your DMR radio if you can get to a repeater or a hotspot. So that's $300 about, right? With the Yaesu System Fusion, I have an FT2DR, which is a $300 to $400 radio, depending on where you got it, if it was on sale, and that's just the radio, the device that runs wires. You still have all this other stuff. So we talked about this earlier. I think you and I kind of have similar thoughts. Why do you like wires over DMR in that situation? I mean, you can walk through your personal experience. I know you have different experience than those of us down here in California, at least.
Largely it's because there isn't DMR where I'm at in Canada. It's most of the clubs. You got to keep in mind too, like ham radio clubs aren't exactly the richest organizations in the world, right? Like they're working on shoestring budgets. So when they get an opportunity to buy, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the price on a live stream, but if they get a chance to buy a significantly discounted repeater from Yaesu, it was a good strategy for these guys. Ham clubs are picking them up because they're lower cost, and that's what a lot of guys up here did. So, the reason to go with System Fusion, why I liked it, I actually admittedly hated digital. I absolutely had no interest in using digital when I first picked up the radios. I was strictly concerned with having a crossband setup in the truck that was reasonable power, and being able to use, directional Yagis or whatever we had to, basically, to be able to hit a repeater that was in town when we were in the mountains. So I had no interest in digital. I thought it was ridiculous that, digital was sort of where everybody was hanging out on while these clubs were maintaining repeaters that, are on analog networks and no one's using them. Because up here, I mean, it's dead. You could probably run a 70D that dies in British Columbia for a day and a half up here. There's not a lot of traffic. So I'd always sort of maintained a position up here. Well, if the analog repeaters are toast, why the hell would we go into digital and make the problem worse? So me getting into wires was sort of a direct result of just sort of playing with the 2D and being on different repeaters and sort of getting bored because there was no traffic and there was nobody to talk to and you weren't really playing ham radio. So I guess that's why I got into wires. I had the stuff.
Right.
And there was just no traffic here.
But as far as I'm kind of leading the witness here because we already talked about this before. But as far as like a rope, so if you were going mobile, like if you were going to do like a mobile setup, you don't have much transmit capability on the hotspot. So the advantage of
so the hotspot is like, I think it wasn't even a watt on those things, right? So like if you use a hotspot in one room of your house and you go into the garage, I mean,
right.
Everything falls apart on you. So what do you think that's going to do out in the bush if you've got to be running, a group of people on a radio? And that's where this stuff works really well because I can throw, I've got the FTM 4 or the 400 XDR in the truck.
Right.
And with a cell booster pointed at, a tower in town, we can basically run everybody on digital for nothing. It just works. And that's where a hotspot falls down for, portable operations when we're, out in the bush with 5-6 guys and we want to have connection somewhere. That's where wires really shines because we just can't do that unless we're going to drag out, a DMR repeater. And, we've got to have the cell boosters and then we've got to bring out duplexers and all the rest of the,
right.
everything else that we've got to basically bring to run that repeater. And, that this stuff just works on wires the way that we need it to.
So I'm not implying that you can't get a mobile radio that can do this function with DMR. There may be a solution for that. I'm just not aware of it.
It's just easier this way. It's just easier.
It's a little... I will say that the FT2DR specifically, and callers, I hear you. I'll get you. The FT2DR firmware upgrade was a bit clunky, and I do recommend Yaesu Official. If you see this after the fact, go to their Facebook channel, Yaesu Official on Facebook, and check out those 2 videos I posted. They were very helpful for that. It makes it very, very easy to upgrade. it's still a process. You got to follow it very explicitly, but it's still a process. Otherwise, for the other radios, it's not that bad. And using the FT400 to get to this node is leaps and bounds, very, very simple. So I like the system when it's deployed. I feel it's the best deployed system to operate on. There's just some
Well, we don't have to
hurdles.
go through and program a whole bunch of radios, right? That's the thing, is if everybody brings their DMR radios, then it's laptops out time for, 20 minutes before everything gets set up, plus troubleshooting. With this, it's just, here's the frequency, it's on simplex, go blaze your wings.
Yeah. And that's nice because it is simplex. Now, there is a feature I didn't go to because it's something a little bit more advanced. You can set like a transmitter ID, and it will only accept, it's kind of like a PL tone for wires that will only accept transmitters that have the same tone. So it's not a privacy so much, but it's a way to avoid some of the chaff if you're using a frequency that you think somebody might step on. Well, Whip Grease, I got a couple more callers. Are you going to go to the after
chat? Yeah, hit these guys. Yeah, I'll pop into the Discord.
All right, buddy.
And we'll see you there. Hit these other guys, and good chat with you.
All right, bud. Thank you for all your help. By the way, there'll be a video coming out. Whip Grease, producer, involved with the production of the last video for his help. So it's a range video on actually driving out and seeing how far I could get with the node setup. So pretty cool. All right, thanks, bud. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Great, man. RR73.
All right, good luck. See you in the contest. Or good luck in the contest. All right. Next caller. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Josh. How you doing, buddy? My name's Tyler. I'm out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Had a question for you.
Yep.
I've been looking for a UHF VHF handheld. I do volunteer firework, and was looking for a handheld that had a two-tone page function. I've played with like the Bophones and things like that, but they don't have a page function to where you can actually turn it off, where it doesn't open up unless they set the two-tone off to open up the radio.
Right. So obviously the answer to your question is to spend an amount of dollars equal to buying a Hyundai on a Motorola, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. You know where I'm coming from there.
Yeah, you're trying not to spend Motorola dollars to make this happen is what you're saying.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So I'm pretty sure that the FT2DR actually does paging. It supports paging. Somebody can correct me in the chat, but I'm pretty sure it does.
Okay, all right.
Hold on.
Like I said, I knew if there was anybody to ask, you would probably be the guy. I've been watching your videos for a while now.
I'm coming across as such a Yaesu guy. I like Yaesu a lot, but man, I don't want to steer you wrong. Can somebody back me up? Can somebody Google foo this? Two-tone paging on the FT2DR. I think that's a true statement.
No, the FT2DR. That's the Yaesu.
Oh, see, yeah, we got Yaesu's back in the chat. Okay, he says not two-tone. Okay, so there you go, not two-tone. So now I don't know.
That's the trouble I'm running into. I can't seem to find a radio that has two-tone function.
I know it supports paging.
Two-tone page. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just mumbling in the background. Gosh. It comes up. See, that's part of the reason why Motorola has such a foothold, is that a lot of the functions you guys use as first responders it's form fitted for that, and Motorola kind of goes after that market. If anybody in the chat,
we use Realm. With our fire department, we use Realm. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, and Kenwoods also. They seem to do the same function. And like I said, the both things, they will listen to it, but you have to listen to like the entire county, all the traffic throughout the entire county. And so at night when you go to bed or whatever, you want to set it on page. That way you only hear your department whenever you get a call.
So
right,
Zach, my admin in the chat, is saying that some cheap DMR radios have that, and by cheap he just means a lot of the Chinese ones. He's okay. Ethan, another admin, saying an Anytone 868 does it.
Anytone 868.
Yeah. So Any tone you I want to feel. Hold on, I'm going direct. So I feel like the Retevis has this. I could have sworn it has a page. You could set the tone for page. This is great, great video here we're doing.
I'm sorry if I threw off the topic.
I just, to be honest with you,
caught the back end of this.
I think, unfortunately, you gave me too much credit, assuming that I knew about two-tone paging. I really don't, because I've never really used it. Because if you think about it, most amateurs don't really have a need to restrict down to like a core group, right? Really
I just knew you did the whole citizen response thing with the disaster, and I figured maybe you would have some.
And, Anthony DeLorio in the chat says, you really should get a commercial radio just for reliability and support. Get in touch with the dealer. So the problem is, you're saying you're a volunteer firefighter, which means you're not getting paid.
I'm a volunteer firefighter. You're right, and also a paramedic. On our ambulance, we use VHF and Southern Links. With the volunteer fire department, we use UHF.
Yeah, so you got to keep in mind that he's trying to save money by not having to necessarily buy an expensive Motorola, because he is a volunteer, so not getting paid for his service, and he's a paramedic, so keep that all in mind. So in the chat, they're saying TYT380, which this is the clone of the TYT380. This is the Retevis, which I did a review on. I did not need to test the paging, though, because I don't use that. And Yaesu USA official says Motorola, EFJ, Kenwood, and another brand, which it's probably some of the Chinese brands that do it. It's honestly out of my area. I'm not I obviously don't do that very often.
Thank you so much for your time. And guys in the chat, thank you all so much also.
Yes, appreciate you calling, and hopefully we gave you some good information. At least the chat, they looked it up, so that's at least helpful.
Well, like I said, thank you all again.
All right,
y'all
man.
have a good night.
Take it easy. See ya. All right, we got another one. Another caller. Hold on. All right, who's there? Caller, are you there? Caller fell off. So I think that might have been a stale spot. Yeah, so with the paging, my understanding is that it only is, it's like a smaller group set, and you can transmit to the pager group or receive from the pager group, and that's it. Yeah, in this case, I think he's specifically talking, it's kind of like fencing. Yeah, Anthony DeLorio, you're not wrong. There are lots of commercial radios for deep discounts on eBay. That is a way to go. Actually, that's probably the best way to get a Motorola if you're really interested in a Motorola. It really depends on the situation. I know you can make Baofangs do a lot of stuff, but I don't know that that's necessarily a good idea. An HT1000 would not be bad. Yeah. Okay. All right, well, I think we're going to wrap up. Tyler, there he is. All right, buddy. I hope we gave you some good information. Like I said, I don't really play in that area. I don't want to pretend like I do. The TYT380 might do it. I'm sorry, is that right? Yeah, TYT380. And then, of course, you have Motorola options available. Okay. Well, so I got a couple of things to do as we wrap this up, but we are going to the Discord live after chat. We've been having some really, really good conversations, and a lot of people have been coming in, which has been awesome. So if you're not already a subscriber or join the Discord, it's free. There's no questions. It's not like Facebook. They're not recording what you say and throwing ads in front of you. It's just a chat room of like-minded individuals on the Ham Radio Crash Course that we continue these conversations, broken up in all kinds of different areas. I have to say, Yaesu official coming on, super awesome. Let me do this really quick because I've actually got your page up right here. They were super helpful. Wait, where did it go? Why you do this? You gotta love that. There we go. Yaesu, so Yaesu System Fusion Official on Facebook, great group. I commented in a reply to somebody who had a similar problem, and they dove right in and helped me. So that was super cool. So want to thank John. Where is it? I have actually wrote all the names down. Want to thank John Crook and Billy Ramirez too. Was a big help. So Billy, if you see this, thanks again, buddy. And all right, so one more thing, and I'll keep looking at the questions as we go through this. So keep along with me until we head out. All right, so patrons, you're a lot of the largest reason why I keep doing this whole thing and keep this whole thing going. So, for example, this cable set was basically purchased by you guys, so I appreciate all the help there. And the last couple of days learning this has been very interesting. I have to say, it was a little complicated, but the end product is really nice. I like the end product, but I'll leave it at that. So, thank you to William Horton, Chris Ebert, Carrie Blackwell, Jason Brown, Jason Siebert, David Dansero, Danny Miller, Franklin Lewis, Michael Nieswender, Brad Snyder, Gareth Broadhead, Dennis Dunderdale, Anthony, Justin Blackburn, Garrett Larson, the infamous No Name, Dean Johnson, Ben Kellum, Dennis Mickelson, George Gaini, Andy, Kenny Miyamoto. I think that's supposed to be... I think I did this the last time. Ton Thorson? That's not right. I apologize. I got to go fix that. Michael Baxter, who is not Mike Baxter from Last Man Standing. Devin B. Hedge, Richard Dragon, KG6, WFR, Mark Chase, Mark McCarty, Julian, OH8STN, the YouTuber out there making some cool but more outdoor activation videos. Really good for emergency preparation type guys. Raymond Cracker, Geraldo Kelso, Bo Brewer, Corey Sheldon, Brad Nadeau, and Stephen Hunt. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to Discord. We ran a little bit long, but I'll cut this down at the end for tomorrow and repost it with all of our issues we had on the stream. Sorry about that. I can't control what YouTube's going to do, but I'll straighten it out on the back end. All right, guys, I appreciate all of you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.